Email to that guy my mother met in the mental hospital last July. I also forwarded this email to my musician ex. Marion has won yet again. I think that my mother has been moved to a new hospital, but because of the HIPAA law, I get to know nothing in regards to either her whereabouts or her condition. Called her social worker, who pretty much hung up on me after saying, I don't have a signed release for you, so I can't discuss your mother with you. Click. More or less. She made an excuse. She had to call another, but she's full of shit. My mother told me that she was getting out of X hospital yesterday. I was talking to her a half hour before Marion was showing up there at noontime. And going home, that Marion was picking her up. I tried to reach her all last night and all today to no avail. I called so-and-so at Department of Mental Health, and before I was able to speak one sentence to her, she said to me, I don't have a signed release, I can't talk to you about your mother, and then simply hung up on me. I give up. I finally declared my autonomy. I finally did what I had been aching to do for 13 plus years, and in my defiant act of finally standing up to Marion and telling her the truth, via notes I left for Marion all over my mother's pig pen of a house, as well as texts I sent to Marion right before my cell phone service was about to permanently shut off, about exactly what I've thought of her for all these years, I more than likely lost my mother for good. Oh, doesn't this just take the cake? Marion is telling, after my week plus of health, my mother, Marion is telling everyone not only that my mother's latest breakdown was completely my fault, but also that I was the one who destroyed my mother's home. Marion even arranged things with the head of that park so that I will never be able to visit my own mother in her own home again. Not that I would want to. Under the circumstances, Marion can come there anytime, whatever, but that's not the point. I give up. I was a goddamn fool to have gotten my hopes up for 1 second after my mother met you in that hospital, and then came home and started gushing to me about how you were gonna help her and me to fight Marion. It's nobody's fault. Marion is just too fucking powerful, as well as fairly well off, and my mother and I are weak and for all intents and purposes poor. My mother and I are also both mentally ill, and in the end, the rich and powerful always easily crush the weak and the mentally ill. That's just how it is. Do you know how physically ill this has all been making me? I eat diarrhea. I have to just let my mother go. My mother did this to herself. My mother should have fucking listened to my heartfelt pleas and fought Marion years ago when my mother was younger and stronger than she is now, but she kept brushing me aside, brushing my legitimate fears and concerns aside, and then when her beloved sister was dying, all I would ever hear come out of her mouth in response to my justifiable rage and disgust with the whole Marion situation were variations of the following phrases. Stop being so selfish. So-and-so is dying. Why can't you just forgive? Forgive the family. Why can't you just forgive, Laura? Don't upset the family, etc., etc., etc.